Hi everyone, it's Salia, and today I wanted to do a quick resolutions video and just kind of my own goals for both YouTube and for books in 2019. I've seen tons of people do this online and I love watching everyone else's. I know usually you wait till the end of the video to tell people to comment or whatever, but since I know most people won't watch till the end, just if you have any New Year's resolutions, tell me down below. I'd love to hear them, whether they're bookish or not. I'm gonna start first with my YouTube ones, and then I'm gonna move into more for books and reading and things like that. This is gonna be a super unstructured video. I didn't actually make a list of things. I just kind of want to chat about the things on my mind, so it's gonna be a bit of a mess, but please roll with it. So, my first one, I've been working a lot on editing, but I haven't been working so much on learning the settings for the camera. So I think I'm finally going to, I've already sort of started, I've watched a couple videos, but I kind of want to understand by the end of 2019, but hopefully a lot sooner, what ISO is, how to adjust the aperture and what that means, and all those other things that people talk about. I also really want to work on white balancing so that the colors look nice, and just in general, I would love for the quality of my videos to kind of go up. If nothing else, from YouTube, I would love to walk away from the whole experience understanding how the camera works and being able to make a decent quality short film. Another part of YouTube that I haven't gone towards this because I don't really want to grow the channel, but the whole idea of branding and having an image for yourself and making your page interactive, having nice thumbnails and trying to engage the audience, things like that. I'm not very good at it, I don't think, and I never bothered to try to get good at it. If I had time, I think that would be the next step that I would go towards, is trying to make a brand and trying to make some sort of aesthetic for my whole channel. Honestly, I think if Zoe was more involved and we could work on it together, I think she has way more of an eye for this. And Zoe, if you ever have free time, I think you'd be so much better at it than I would. So I'm gonna leave it to you. And then in terms of videos, I haven't made that many videos, so I feel there are still so many different types of videos that are kind of bread and butter of BookTube that I haven't even attempted yet. Different tags and recommendation videos. I read one or two good books in each subset, and so because of that, what I can recommend is fairly limited to the small amount that I have read. I think that's kind of a future thing. Once I've read a lot more, then maybe I can start delving into recommendation videos. And content-wise, I haven't thought too much about it. I would obviously like to be making more stuff, and there's so many things that I would like to do. I would love to make more creative content, obviously. I just feel at the moment, I'm not in a place where, even if I made these goals, I feel I'm kind of limited by time and my other obligations. I can't put that much focus into YouTube, so I feel there's no point really making a goal around what types of videos I would like to have. Overall, I would obviously like to make more videos. I think it's something that I will re-examine maybe 3 months in when Persian New Year happens and I can make some new resolutions. I will do that. When it comes to reading, one thing that I would definitely like to do is actually keep track of all the books I've read. I have never been a numbers type person, nor have I been a how much I accomplished. It's always been did I have fun while I was doing it? And if so, then it's a win for me type person. So every time that I have tried, I've given up a month or two into it. It's such a waste of time in my opinion, but that being said, I would love to find an easy way to just mark down all the books that I've read, and at least that way at the end of the year I could have some sort of here are my stats and here are the 3 months that I read the most in, because I think that would be really interesting just to analyze. My other goal that's more YouTube oriented is just, I kind of flip-flop between wanting to be a loner on the internet and then making friends on the internet. I guess I thought it would be easier to make friends online. Ultimately, if I wanted to stay on this platform, then it would be nice to have friends also on the platform. But then I just don't understand how people become friends off of YouTube. And I don't even know that I could maintain a friendship, to be honest. It's more that I see other people being friends and I'm well, that would be nice. But I guess I would like to have friends on YouTube. I just don't want to force it, you know what I mean? And maybe I just haven't found my people yet. But although I guess the resolution part is that maybe I will try to be more interactive on YouTube and definitely try to comment on people's videos to maybe find people that I like and that I can make my own little squad on YouTube, because that would be awesome. Obviously, when I did get better, I would absolutely love to do one of those month-long challenges where you make a video every single day. I just at the moment like don't think I'm capable of doing that, but that is something that down the line I would love to do. And I feel like if you can actually do all 30, 31 days, 28 days, whatever, it'd be a huge sense of accomplishment. And I really feel like it's a chance for people to get to know you in a way that wouldn't necessarily come off in like more structured videos. I just find that every time people have done stuff like Bookmas, Vlogmas, or that thing that Miss Emma Reads does in February, I feel like you get to know the person so much more. And by the end of the month, you really feel like you know them almost. I don't know. I just feel like it speeds up the process of viewers getting to know you. And it's something that I would definitely like to try at some point if I have the means to do so. Yeah, another thing too is like book buying and whether or not I want to keep buying books, or like, you know, after that whole consumerism on BookTube ordeal and like this whole idea of hauling and unhauling, and also the trash my TBR concept, which I just learned about, is kind of cool, but I'm gonna get to that in a second. So overall, I think I'm not gonna put a ban, but I'm definitely gonna slow down. I think that I would really like to finish reading all the books that are currently on my shelf that are part of my TBR before I try to go out and buy anything. Although that being said, it's not that I want to go on a book buying ban, it's more that I don't want to buy a book that I have no intention of reading at the moment, because then you buy it and you put it on your shelf and it's like, what was the point of that? So for me, I think I want to focus on, like, if I'm gonna go buy a book, I want to buy it because I'm gonna read it right then and there, or like that's the next book I'm reading, or that's the one I'm gonna start tomorrow, or whatever it is. Because otherwise I'm like, I have so many books on my shelves already that I haven't read, so what's the point? I have always been an avid user of the library and all that, so I'll continue using that. I don't think I'm at the point where I want to stop buying books. I just like don't want to buy a book that I'm not going to read right away, or like pre-order a book because I think I'm going to want to read it but then I don't read it. You know what I mean? And I might spend a bit more money that way, like not looking for deals or whatever, but I just feel like then I'm not going to be stockpiling books on my shelf and like buying other ones while I still have ones I haven't read and things like that. And it's just like easier to manage. I'm not trying to like shame anybody. It's just like easier to manage for me. And I definitely do want to finish the books on my shelf that I haven't read yet, because I think the longer they stay here, the less likely I am to read them. And then if there are books that I really truly don't want to read even though I have them, such as I bought A Court of Frost and Starlight, and honestly like everything that I've seen about what people have said about it like doesn't make me want to pick it up in the least. I don't think I'm gonna like it. I'm 100% sure that I don't want to continue with the series, so I don't really see the point in reading this one, and yet I have it. And so now I'm kind of left with this like dilemma of having to like throw away a bunch of books. I don't know, it just seems so wasteful unhauling a bunch of books that I haven't read, but I feel like just get it over with, rip the band-aid off, get that done with, and then from here on out I can just be better about what I do buy and what I don't buy, because I'm not upset if I buy a book that I don't like but that I read. But if I buy a book and I don't even read it and then decide that I don't want to read it, then I'm like, well, you truly wasted your money then. I talked about how I wanted to make note of all the books that I read. I also, in keeping with that theme, I think I would also like to, you know how Victoria Schwab does her little boxes? I think a lot of people do it on bullet journals, but she in particular does it on her Instagram, and I will show you what I'm talking about. And it's like it'll be like, drank 2 glasses of water today, you know, wrote 1,000 words, or whatever it is she does. I think I want to do that. It looks like this. So that's definitely something that I wouldn't mind trying. And I actually have an agenda. Last year somebody gave me an agenda for Christmas and I'm trash at using them, so I only use January. So I still have 11 months of that. So instead of buying a new agenda, I'm just gonna use last year's agenda but like change all the dates, and I'm just gonna see how it goes. So I guess that's another theme too, is I'm trying not to spend money if I don't need to. Also for people who like don't have great lighting situation, since I'm talking about like trying to save money, if you go and look up how to white balance and things like that, you can actually film without having proper like halo lights or proper daylight balance lights and all that. And based off of how this video turns out, I guess I can let you know later if it actually works or not, but that's also an option. Like if you don't have a ton of money and you don't want to invest in lighting but happen to have a decent camera, you can just play around with the settings and try to white balance it. I think if you don't have a great camera, like you're using not DSLR, then you can just like in the editing program or the editing software then white balance it, but it's a bit harder and I don't know how to do that. But there are tutorials online, so if you're thinking of like making your videos look nicer even though you don't have great equipment, I'm just saying it's a way to save money. It won't save you time. I think if you spend the money then you spend less time doing this type of garbage, but if you don't have money then you spend the time making it look good. So either way. So again, I've never been like a make lists and make TBRs and follow your TBR, but I think I would like to have a little bit more of a TBR this year just because I want to focus on actually finishing the books on my shelves, and this way I can kind of like allocate allocate a few to each month, and I think it'd be good for me. I think also because I'm trying to be more productive in general. I waste so much time, and for someone who has as much junk to do as I do, I feel like that's not a good thing. And I hopefully, fingers crossed, if I match in February and I like start residency in July, I'm only going to be busier. So I need to stop wasting as much time as I do, and I'd like to just allocate time, be more productive, and then that way I can have more free time that's truly free time and not free time that's spent like stressing about what I'm not doing and things like that. And so I think if I can find a way to journal, but like lazy person journal with my agenda, then hopefully I can figure that out. And I think having a TBR will help with that a little bit. I've seen some people talk about like reading for half an hour a day. I don't know how I'm going to structure like how much time I spend reading, but I definitely am going to set a goal for myself of roughly like 4 books a month if possible. Like 3 I'd be happy with, but maybe 4. My only problem with number of books is that it makes you want to read like shorter books so that you can get the number down, and I would much rather just read books that I want to, and I don't want to discourage myself from picking up larger books, so I might do like page count instead of number of books to kind of offset that. But all that being said, I definitely want to do a TBR because there are some books that I have had on my TBR for so long that I just want them out of the way. And then once I get all of them out of the way, hopefully I can start with some sort of like clean slate for the incoming like new releases. And yeah, I don't want to have this like long ass TBR that's been piling up for many years. And I think the more time honestly you spend on BookTube, which like I do because I'm trying to support people, the worse it is because the more people recommend things and the more overwhelming this TBR becomes. But for now, I'm just gonna focus on trying to do all the ones on my shelves and then a few other ones that like I've had on my mind for a while. And then from there on out, like I will just kind of curate what I want. Another like general rule that I have going into 2019 is I definitely want to read a couple more genres. So I mostly read YA because it's what I know I'll like, and when I don't have a lot of time, I don't really want to be experimenting like with new stuff. I just want to read what I know I'll like, you know? But I definitely want to delve into some adult fiction. It doesn't necessarily have to be fantasy, but even like adult contemporary, whatever genre it may be, but I definitely would like to read some more adult stuff. I definitely want to read a couple more nonfiction, although I'm not going to force nonfiction because if there's none that appeal to me, like the topic in and of itself, then I won't force it. But I'm definitely going to explore it a bit more to see if there are stuff that I could like, because there's some self-helpish type books that I like. Not like The Secret, but like there's some about business and like leadership and like being successful, and those ones I kind of like. I definitely like Becoming by Michelle Obama is so high on my list, and I think I'm going to read that fairly soon. But as much as I want to read all the hype books and things like that, I definitely want to try to not only focus on those. I'd like to read some more diverse books by like diverse authors, and just in general, like not just color your skin, but like everything. Like I want to read about people with different illnesses. I want to read about just like different experiences, and I kind of would like to learn something from the books I read, even if it's for entertainment only. I feel like if it's not offering me something new or I'm not learning something from it, then you know what I mean? Like it's almost 2019, so we should all expect a little more from our books, you know what I'm saying? I think that's it for my general goals. I'm sure as soon as I stop recording, I will remember a couple more. And again, like I said in the beginning, if you have goals, please tell me what they are. I would love to see. Or if you've made a video about your 2019 resolutions, link me down below and I'll be happy to watch it. And with that, I hope you guys all have a great New Year's, and whatever it is that you've resolved to do, I hope you are able to accomplish it. Bye!